Guys, we're talking about the box office here. And yeah, this is the week of October 6th, 2023. And we have 11 total titles here. Number one movie is The Exorcist Believer. Yes, they spent this movie costed $40 million to make, but I consider this a box office flop either way. Why? Why do you consider this a box office flop? Because they spent $400 million. Yes, the who made this movie? Universal spent $4 million for the rights to the Exorcist series. Again, horror series are unlike other normal franchises where they can basically just milk these series as long as they make money. Okay, but this is already a bad start to them trying to bring back the Exorcist again. Horror movies are popular as they always been. Okay, you had movies like it making huge chunks of money, breaking records for horror movies. Okay, horror movies are kind of like the one last thing that really makes money for Hollywood. Okay, the last Insidious movie did really well. Saw X is doing pretty well. It made money. It broke even. Okay, Exorcist will probably break even as well. The last Halloween movie broke even. Okay, but again, this is a pretty bad start for a return of a massive horror classic as well. Again, this movie will probably do well during the month, but again, other horror movies are coming out later, like the FNAF movie. So, yeah, The Exorcist Believer isn't doing too well. Okay, it isn't doing too well. It did the best in Mexico. So, it has not yet to release in many other countries, including Brazil and France and Japan as major markets, and some more minor markets like New Zealand, Poland, South Africa, and Sweden. South Korea is a major market despite its small population. So, yeah. Next is the Paw Patrol, the Mighty movie. This movie has broken even, which means money going forward is profits as well, which means, yes, another Paw Patrol movie is going to make money, which means they're going to make a third one most likely as well. Again, Paw Patrol is a popular children's show. Okay, this is the second Paw Patrol movie we released in the theaters as well. We can compare it to the first Paw Patrol movie. Yeah, and it's doing far better than the first one. Okay, it's doing far better than the first one. We have the weekend comparison. So the second movie is doing basically the same as the first movie, but better. So that's really good, actually. The first movie eventually made $151 million globally. As well. This movie still has international markets to release, including UK, Spain, Korea, Japan, France, and Brazil. But actually, Brazil released this week. But China is the largest market for Paw Patrol, the Mighty movie. But the movie will probably have decent ratings alongside. The first movie, made a lot of money in the UK and France and Germany, which has that released in UK and France. I believe not. Okay. Which means it has not yet to release in two of the biggest markets for the Paw Patrol series, the UK and France. And it's doing basically the same as the first movie in China as well. So now we got to go to Saw X. Saw X has made money at the box office. It has made the most more money in UK and Mexico as well. This movie has been out for a bit. It has not really released in many international markets. It's really a domestic movie. But we gotta see how it's doing compared to the rest of the series. These. Saw X is doing better than Jigsaw, Saw 6, and Spiral. So it's gonna probably do very similar to Saw 3D at the box office. That's the comparison we can use for Saw X. So Saw X will beat Saw 6, and Spiral. Okay, so that means this series is kind of recovering, and it has also broken even as well. So, Saw, so we have two decently successful movies at the box office. There's Exorcist could probably break even as well. Next, we have Disney's big failure, The Creator, of course. People saying this movie is actually really great and it might be an underrated movie, but but again, this is Disney. We're talking about Disney, of course, is gonna lose hundreds of millions of dollars on this movie. Again, Disney is not gonna be pleased by the numbers for this movie. They're not at all because no one went to go see the movies, which isn't too surprising, as Disney has lost money on two original films in the past month as well. Again, it's not a very common Disney L. Okay, it's not a very common Disney L. Okay, and next is The Blind, which has made $10 million as well. Haunting in Venice. Again, they have changed the numbers bound to 94 million, but it has cost $100 million. Most say it did. So we will be keeping an eye on the Haunting in Venice as well. I do not understand why the numbers always changes the actual box office data for movies, but yeah, it did pass $100 million, around $100 million as well. So next is The Nun 2, which is basically almost done with its box office run. It's doing still well internationally, but it's doing really, really well in Mexico. Mexico is also doing really, really well in Indonesia. Indonesia might be a major market for Hollywood in the future. Indonesia has 200 million people. I think it definitely could be a big market similar to Brazil and Mexico as well. Okay, Indonesia is the second, and then Brazil, and then of course all the European countries afterwards. The Nun 2 has not yet to release in Japan as well. Okay. Next is Dumb Money. No one is going to see this movie. It's another one of those Fed releases. And also, it is not releasing in many major markets until far later, including Mexico, Germany, France, Brazil, and Australia. Yeah. Yeah. Next is The Equalizer 3. This movie needs to make another 6 to 7 million, so close to breaking even. As well, the biggest market for The Equalizer is Italy. No, UK. Italy is down here. Yeah, it has not yet to release in Mexico, which probably will make a lot of money there. It'll probably push the movie towards breaking even. It did release in Japan this week, and it also did release in Brazil, which will add to the total global totals, which is why it had a decent global hold. Mexico is the last major market it's releasing this week in that country. So I think Mexico will obviously push this movie towards the finish line, as movies usually make a lot of money in Mexico as well. Well, next is Hocus Pocus. Yes, they re-released Hocus Pocus in the theaters. This movie is a very overrated movie, but again, I'm not allowed to criticize popular things apparently, like of Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So I'm not allowed to give any critiques about the movies, apparently, because apparently I have the wrong opinion. But I don't really care for Hocus Pocus. I think it's an extremely overrated movie as well. But this movie has made $1.5 million in the theaters. Yeah, they re-released this in the theaters for some weird reason. They could have easily just released the Hocus Pocus sequels into the theaters and made money there, but no, we don't want to do that. Next is Expendables, which is a massive box office failure. Most of its money is still mostly coming from one market, and that's China, which is awful to say at least. And it has not really many markets left besides Japan and France, and also South Africa. But again, it's South Africa as well. But this is a movie that traditionally does well internationally. It seems that everybody has no interest in Expendables anymore, which means we'll be put an end to this series as well. So next is My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. Yes, this movie movie is making money. It's about okay. It's not making money at box office, but it has not yet released in Mexico, and Italy, and Brazil as well. Mexico, Italy, and Brazil. And of course, we have worldwide updates for like Oppenheimer making $949 million as well. The movie making $60 million in China. But this movie is basically dead internationally. There's not any more markets it's going to release in. And it has basically released in every single market they have imaginably released it in. And yeah, they have literally tracking from Mongolia. The only market it has not to release in is Japan. I think that's for obvious reasons as well. So yeah, China, it's still making money in China and several other international markets, but I think this and Barbie outdone at the box office. This. And Barbie, I don't think they even have any numbers for Barbie at all, which is very weird. You'd think that Barbie has numbers. We'll go to Box Office Mojo, see Barbie's numbers. Yeah, Barbie has made this month and has passed 1.3. So this movie is also dead, very similar to the Haunting in Venice. It's at $102 million. For example, another example of this is Elemental. Box Office Mojo has the accurate numbers at $490 million. Yeah. But the movie is probably not gonna make much more money as well. But yeah, kudos to Box Office Mojo for still tracking Elemental's international numbers. I think this movie's dead domestically as well. So yeah, that's it about this video here. So yeah, another pretty slow week at the box office. But again, not every movie needs to be a big Avengers level box office success. Goodbye.